Alright guys, more rounds with the Kriss Vector. I have this one paired with the Lone Wolf Eliminator can, and I am shooting some HOP Munitions 147 grain subs here. These should be quiet. Oh, that's mag release. Dead of now.
Yeah, the other can was fucked.
Right to top. Oh, we broke one. What's going on, everybody? Today we are talking about the Kriss USA Inc. Gen 3 Vector in 9mm. But before we dive into this, guys, I want to take a quick second and thank the sponsor of this video, and that being HOP Munitions. HOP did send out the original 500 rounds that we used for this review, and we are super thankful for that, guys. They sent out 147 grain poly-coated subsonic ammo, and that was really, really awesome stuff. So go check them out for all your ammunition needs, guys, online or on social media at HOP Munitions. Now, we should mention our relationship with Kriss as well. Kriss did provide us with this pistol for the review, as well as 200 rounds of ammo when we sent this thing back after our initial testing with some issues. They sent this thing back after repair, as well as the 200 rounds we requested, so that we could do a follow-up finish to this review and be as honest and give you guys as many details as possible. So, big shout out to Kriss for being so awesome to work with, as well as giving us this opportunity. Now, let's dive into this one, guys. The Kriss USA Inc. Gen 3 Vector in 9mm. This is, again, like I said, the SDP version or the pistol version. This also comes in a rifle version as well. You could get this in 3 different calibers, 9mm, 10mm, or 45 ACP. And you do have a little bit of different capacities when it comes to the different calibers themselves. So with 9mm, you get 40 rounds per Vector magazine. With the 10mm, you're going to get 33, and with the 45 auto, you're going to get 30, I believe is how that works out. So if capacity is a big concern for you, be sure to check that part out before you go forward with your caliber choice. But talking about the Kriss Vector here, guys, and more specifically the differences between the Gen 2 and the Gen 3. When we get into this, guys, you have an M-Lok rail here instead of the pick rail that they used to have in the Gen 2s. My issue with the handguard is it's just slightly small with just one spot per side. You can mount a decent amount of stuff, but if this was just extended one more M-Lok spot, I think that would have been amazing. Even if they had to flare it out just enough to where you could still fit a suppressor on this threaded barrel, that would have been top-notch for sure. A petty complaint, really the only thing you can mount on this is probably a vert grip of some sort. Again, that all depends on which direction you're going as far as pistol, SBR, tack stamp wise. But keep that in mind, you are very limited with the pistol version on the amount of M-Lok spots or just accessory attachments that you're going to be able to use with this thing. As we work our way back, this is their 4-pin disassembly system. So it's supposed to be toolless, giving you the ability to pull this thing apart very easily in the field and get it back together. You have a full-length pick rail from front to back up here, giving you plenty of space to mount whatever optic, laser, light, or even a switch to run those lasers and lights that you want. And this one did come with the standard now Kriss flip-up iron sights. These things are pretty well built, very durable, and there is no slack in them. They take a little bit of force to get up and get down, but that is something that keeps them secured and in place, whatever position you have them in. As we continue to work our way back, this thing now has a permanent pick rail in the back, giving you the ability to mount any kind of skeletonized or bufferless tube setup that you want. I guess before this was basically almost like a standard buffer tube type of attachment, and you would have to get some sort of adapter in there if you wanted to go to a pick rail 1913 style on the back. So yeah, that was something that was noted in multiple videos and something we were very excited about because it made it very easy to mount the Kriss stock or the JMac stocks that we have to this thing. As we come down, you have a full ambi safety, and they mentioned that the safety has a shorter throw than the Gen 2. Again, that's not something I can attest to, but it is something that is mentioned both on Kriss's website and in multiple videos when you go out and watch the reviews on this thing. You have a skeletonized trigger, a little bit different, just a little bit of a cutout compared to the last one, and now you have the ability to completely change out your pistol grip with any standard AR-15 pistol grip that you want. I haven't changed this out, but just by taking those 4 pins, I don't even think you have to take the 4. I think you just have to take maybe 2 out to get access to the pistol grip, and then it's just a screw in there like you would normally when you're screwing a pistol grip into a lower receiver. So you should already have the tools needed. You might even have an extra grip laying around. I know I got 12 on the shelf over there because I move around stuff so much, but that's pretty cool that you can change this and customize this a little bit more to your liking. And as we continue to come forward here, guys, this mag release is supposedly a little bit different. It has a little bit of this raised shroud around it, protecting it from getting bumped. That is not something that helps too good. We will talk about that here a little bit more. And also the bolt catch itself is a little bit different as well. The bolt catch was very easy to use on this one. I cannot really tell you again how well it is compared to the Gen 2. And last difference on this one that I know about, guys, the charging handle itself is a little bit smaller. Supposedly one of the issues with the Gen 2 and the longer charging handle is people were coming back too much on the end and not getting the proper angle to pull that charging handle back. And this thing is already kind of chonky as it is. Something I've noted from the very beginning of getting this thing. So I could see if you were all the way out on an even further out charging handle, how you would almost be bending the charging handle back toward the receiver instead of pulling the charging handle back in the middle of the gun, if that makes sense. So that is different as well. I believe that is all of the features. One thing I did forget to mention is your mag release, guys, is also interchangeable. So this thing is full ambi. You can swap this over to the left side. Sorry, Charles, we kept it on the right-hander setup for our review, but he'll be excited to know that that is an option with this thing as well. But yeah, guys, I think that covers all the features of this. When we start talking about the Kriss system itself, guys, this is supposedly the lowest bore axis of any firearm in the world. What that means is your barrel is lower in the actual gun setup itself, and this one claims to be underneath the actual fire control group. So if you look at the designs on Kriss's website, it is super cool to see this thing broke down, and the Super V recoil system is what's keeping this thing mostly flat at the range. It is a delayed blowback type of system, but instead of coming straight back, this is all coming back into this receiver here. And what that does is it counterweights the muzzle rise and brings the gun back down, keeping it super flat while you're shooting fast shots on the range. So something that is definitely cool to feel if you're shooting this thing. Now, when it comes to using these iron sights, it is really hard to get down real low on this gun. Even with that low dipping stock that you can get for this, it is still pretty hard to get down all the way on this gun. So I really suggest a high-rise type of optic. And we were able to use a Burris RT1 on a riser, as well as a Swamp Fox Raider Prism on an optic riser as well. So it made it a lot easier to shoot and being able to keep that head kind of more straight up instead of having to come all the way down on that sucker. We also used a couple of different suppressors. We used the Lone Wolf Arms Eliminator 45 can, as well as the Sylvan Arms 9mm can. I love the Lone Wolf because that thing is very modular and very budget-friendly can, but the Sylvan Arms, you could tell a difference in the couple of videos how much quieter a dedicated 9mm can is. So if you guys are wanting to make this thing as quiet as possible, probably stick with the dedicated 9mm can. When you get one of these in the box, depending on which one you get, guys, obviously the box is going to be quite a bit bigger with the 16-inch versus the pistol version, but you will get one 40-round magazine with the 9mm. I wish they gave you more, but you are able to buy those off of their website if you need more. We were able to get 3 for our review, luckily, but you only do get 1 in the box when you buy this thing. And it's a super cool looking mag as well. It looks good in a lot of other things and giving you some more options. And speaking to the mag is basically a Glock 17 OEM mag with a big extender on it. So any Glock 17 mag will work in this thing, giving you the option to still keep it super compact, even with almost a flush fits type of mag. So definitely cool. You probably already have those mags laying around at home. So even though this comes with just 1 mag, you're probably still able to go through a whole range day without any issues knowing the world and knowing how many people have Glock mags out there. Now let's talk about performance of this one, guys. We did have some issues with this. Overall, we had more than 10 malfunctions, and I'm going to claim half of those were user-induced. And what I mean by user-induced, this is something that was mentioned in the Gen 2s, as well as traveled forward into the Gen 3s as far as a design flaw goes. Your natural instinct is to grip this thing right here. But as you can see, I am basically covering up the mag release and the bolt catch, or the bolt hold open, with my grip here. So there is a possibility that not only could you drop the mag with your grip, but you can also lock the bolt open. I personally, on the very last range day with the last 200 rounds, had the bolt lock open after a reload in 1 shot. I looked at it, even under night vision, I knew what I had done once I removed my grip. I could feel the bolt catch come off of my hand when I took my hand off. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. There are definitely chances that some of these malfunctions we could have caused ourselves. So I went back through all the footage, and I was able to determine that about half of the malfunctions we had were probably induced just by the way that we were gripping the gun. Again, that's something that has been mentioned. They did not change this. This little shroud over the mag release doesn't seem to help because we had a couple of people have the mags drop on them, so your pressure on that mag release can cause that to fall. And the bolt hold open, I can say, is a very big possibility because it happened to me. So, yeah, I don't know, other than getting an SBR or an AOW type of tack stamp where you could put a vertical foregrip on this to keep your hands completely off of this receiver. That is the only way you're going to eliminate those problems. I think unless you are just kind of lightly gripping, which I do not recommend, you are going to have the tendency for that to happen. You know, through the 850-ish, 900 rounds we got through this thing, we really only had about 5 to 6 malfunctions that we can really blame on the gun or possibly the ammo gun combination itself. So a less than 1% malfunction rate is not too shabby for this one. As far as the ammunition itself goes, we used the HOP Munition 147 grain poly-coated subs, MagTech and Federal 147 subs. The Federal was flat nose, 124 grain MagTech and 124 grain Fiocchi, as well as 115 grain Fiocchi ammo. So we had a wide variety of ammo with this thing. The first 650 rounds was majority of that ammo, and then we reused some of that same ammo in the second 200. So the only thing that was different, actually no, we used all the same ammo in the last 200. So we had malfunctions within that first 650 with the ammo different, or the variety of ammo that we had. So I want to say those 5 to 6 were contributed to this one and this gun in particular. When we brought this up to Vector, they said to send it in. Number one, we sent it in exactly how it was. We did not oil this thing any out of the box, and this thing was absolutely filthy, and that chonkiness was extreme when we sent this thing back. I did not clean it because I wanted them to see how dirty it was and to see if that had anything to do with the issues we were having. And they had mentioned that this gun likes to be extremely wet and preferably cleaned after every range day. They also mentioned when they say preferably wet that dripping is okay. So again, we did not do any of that. In my eyes, when a gun comes out of the box, it is ready to go to the range and be shot. If it is something that needs a big amount of lube on it to get going, yes, I probably should have read the manual, but also maybe, yes, that is something that should be already applied at the manufacturer before it gets sent. I almost feel like you're just asking people to set themselves up for failure at that point. You know, put it in the proper lubricant status that you need it to be, because most people are taking these things out of the box and going straight to the range with it. I don't know very many people personally, especially in my age group, that go home and the first thing they do is clean the gun. Usually the first thing they do is go shoot the gun and then they take it apart. So, you know, that's just me and my friends. You could let me know down in the comments if you're different. And so after Chris got the gun back, guys, they were able to determine that there was a little bit of some spec issues with our extractor, and they went ahead and just replaced the entire bolt. So after they did that, they cleaned it up for us, they sent it back. After those next 200 rounds, we were good to go. I only had the one malfunction that I believe I caused with my own doing. But again, through 850-ish rounds, not a whole lot of issues, and the thing was very enjoyable to shoot, guys. It is super cool looking. You know, the Vectors have always had that eye-catching potential out at the range, and usually people have a tendency to stop and ask questions about it if it is close to them. So if it's a showstopper, eye-catcher that you're looking for, this could possibly be it. And the way that you have the ability and the adaptation to change this thing to your liking is pretty dang cool. I didn't get to shoot it as much night vision wise as I wanted. I also would like to play with some more suppressors on this thing. You know, the iconic look is kind of like that 16-inch barrel one where it has the Osprey, which is the oval squarish looking suppressor. I believe that is the best looking one for the Vector, but I personally don't have one of those. I have a Salvo, but that doesn't really work. But you know, I think getting this thing kind of decked out like that with the stock and a sweet high-rise optic and laser is a very, very enticing combo. So, you know, the Vector has the potential, guys. What do you think? Do you think 5 to 6 malfunctions in 850 rounds is bad? Do you think the bad design of the mag release and the bolt catch are bad enough to keep you from buying this thing? If you guys do plan on getting one, do you plan on getting the pistol or the SBR or the rifle version? Do you plan on getting it in 9mm, 10mm, 45? We love hearing your guys' feedback, and we love hearing if you guys have had any issues with these things as well. We try to be as responsive as we can in the comments, and hopefully together we can figure out some problems that maybe come up. But yeah, that's it for us on this one, guys. If you are looking for a Vector or anything that we have done reviews on, go check us out at gunmade.com. Gunmade.com is meant to make your life easier and your shopping experience more streamlined, guys. We are there for you with the ability to find everything you need both online and locally. Do not hesitate. It is waiting right at your fingertips, y'all. Gunmade.com is where you want to go. And until the next video, we will see you on the range.